I don't like the platforms, but this seems like the only way. Hi everybody, my name is Greg Crable and this is my podcast, Something I Learned Yesterday, where I take an issue usually from the world of publishing and explain it in a few minutes. In the world of paying for content, we're used to buying single, discrete, one-off products. Now the newsstand isn't what it used to be, but people still buy single issues of magazines and newspapers. We still buy a single movie ticket rather than getting a subscription. And even when we do have a subscription like Amazon Prime, we'll sometimes buy access to a single movie. People buy albums and individual songs. So we're used to buying single discrete bits of content like that. Why doesn't this transfer over to articles on a web page? I think there are three reasons. The first is the idea of buying lots of things for 25 cents or $1. That seems silly. I don't want a credit card bill with 25 microcharges on it. There are lots of creative ways around that problem, but it ties in directly with the second problem. I don't want to subscribe to The Economist, but from time to time they have an article I'd like to read, and I'd be willing to pay for it. But what I don't want to do is sign up. I don't want an Economist account. I don't want to have an account on 30 different websites just because I wanted to buy one article a year and a half ago. Now, some micropayment systems solve both those problems, which leads us to the third reason why micropayments haven't caught on. How do I know which micropayment aggregator to go with? If I were to set up an account with the micropayment aggregator, it could take care of problems 1 and 2. Now, if the top 10 or 20 newspapers adopted one micropayment system, everybody else would fall in line, and that would be that. It would be like the battle between MS-DOS and CP/M operating systems back in the 80s. Once the federal government went with MS-DOS, that was the end of the discussion. Everybody else fell in line. Unfortunately, publishers are famous for not cooperating or doing anything that smacks of long-term strategic planning. So I don't think the top 20 newspapers are all going to go with one micropayment system. It's not going to happen, which is why Amazon needs to step in. Now this is very out of character for me. I don't like the platforms, and my general advice to publishers is to keep as far away from them as possible. They're an invasive species that wants to gobble up your entire ecosystem. Having said that, we need one central payment platform that everybody's already using, where it doesn't matter if you're on an Android or an Apple device. Amazon seems like the right solution. Now, as long as I'm making recommendations for Amazon, I have one other thing they can do. They can fight back against scammers. This morning I got a phishing email about my crablegroup.com hosting account. I suspected it was fake. There were some questionable markers in the email, but it was decently well done. And I could have accidentally handed over my credentials for my hosting account to some North Korean terrorist. We need a well-funded group of white hat hackers to fight back against these cretins. Find them and destroy them. Plant viruses on their servers. Do denial of service attacks against them. Hunt them down and make their lives miserable. That really ought to be a function of the government. One of those big white marble buildings in downtown DC, they should be leading this charge, but they're too interested in doing stupid things that nobody cares about. That's why we need Dark Bezos. He could fund a white hat anti-spammer group with the change that falls on the counting room floor. Except that Amazon is too good at logistics to have change falling on the counting room floor, but you know what I'm talking about. You get my point. Somebody needs to go after these goons. They're disrupting online commerce. They're the new train robbers. They're the new pirates. And we need some badasses to go after them and take them down. And I nominate Jeff Bezos to fund that. So that's my thought for today. I hope it was helpful. If I can do anything to help you with your business, please give me a call. You'll see my contact information on the next page. Thanks so much.